Logic has a very unique niche that I would say that every company in the country would be able to benefit from. What Logic did for us, nobody in our company could do at any price for any amount of money in any length of time. My name is Mike Kletchka. I am the VP of Marketing at MD247.com.
My name is Donnie West. I'm the Chief Technology Officer for MD247.com. We're a 24-hour doctor concierge service. One of the biggest costs that we have in our business is our phone bill. And because we make thousands and thousands of phone calls, even being off a fraction of a penny can really get your phone bill out of control.
And month after month, we've just been frustrated because we really believe that we've been overcharged, but we couldn't actually pinpoint it and prove it.
We started receiving some bills that were nearly double what they should have been. Of course, that sends up a red flag.
We have a bookkeeper, we have accountants, we have a lot of really smart people in our company that can typically do a pretty good job of reading and understanding things. But
once we opened that thing up and started looking at the bill, it was really confusing because there's a lot of extra numbers on there, a lot of extra fees that we really just did not understand. We actually spent about 6 months or so trying to decipher what the actual bill had on it. The bill was actually so messed up, they didn't even really know what was going on with the bill. So they really weren't a whole lot of help in that regard.
So we were told about this company called Logic that would be able to help us with our problem.
Didn't really get a grasp on what Logic actually did, but they told me it wasn't going to cost me anything to have them look, so what do you do at that point? You let somebody come in and have a look.
Another set of eyes is what I was expecting this company to be, and just come on and help us, take a look at the bill, and honestly, I really wasn't even that excited at first because I wasn't really sure what these guys could actually do.
We really didn't have high expectations that Logic was really even going to be able to understand what our problem was, much less fix the problem.
My biggest concern with them coming in the door was time, because everybody here at the company is busy. We're a very busy company. Everybody is in high demand over here all day long.
It really impressed me that I did not need to pull 5 people off of their regular jobs to help the Logic team with what they needed to get done. We provided Logic with just a few basic answers to some questions that they had, and they basically took that information.
And then they got to work, and they went and looked at 14 months of our bills. They compared the contract agreement to the actual costs.
The tools that they brought in and showed that they use for doing this analysis completely blew me away. I had never really seen anything that intricate before.
And when they did that, they found many billing errors, and I was astonished at the number of billing errors that they reported having found.
Not only were we being overcharged on our usage, they were able to analyze the taxes to make sure that we were being charged our taxes properly, and we were not. They were also able to decipher some of the extra ancillary fees that get added onto a bill that none of us really know what they are.
Once Logic was able to identify the issues, the shortcomings, the overbillings, then it was time for a conference call. And so the 3 of us, myself, our Logic rep, and the vendor got on a conference call, but I just sat back and listened. And the vendor did their best to be able to defend their position, but I was amazed as I was listening to our representative just methodically, effectively break down every single argument that this vendor had. And they knew the language to speak. They knew what to say. Well, we didn't know. And I sat there on the phone, didn't say a word, but I sat there and listened with my jaw dropped, thinking, wow, I can't believe, number one, all these people have gotten away with, and number 2, how much my rep knew. They had every penny ready, they had all their ducks in a row, and they basically, when they went in, they left the vendor defenseless, and he pretty much threw the white towel in and said, you're right.
When I found out that we had been overcharged nearly $200,000 over a 14-month period, I have to admit it made me angry that they were able to do that.
Like a burden was completely taken off my chest, because now I had somebody who really was on my side, a heavy hitter going to bat for me that really had the answers and that was able to go in and fix a problem that we've been trying to fix for years.
Not only did Logic help us with getting the credits back from the vendor, they also helped us to move away from that vendor to a vendor that would allow us to have more control over our business. ProLogic did all of the work. They did all of the research on the vendors, brought back the best pricing for what we needed. Also discounted a few companies that may have had better prices but did not have the reputation that they needed to have out there in the industry, which was invaluable to me because I don't always know if someone has a bad reputation.
ProLogic's pricing scenario is perfect for any business, so it's a no-brainer. What business wouldn't take advantage of this?
We had another area in our business that is very similar to the telecom, where we do credit card transactions and we do thousands and thousands of transactions. Well, as I mentioned earlier, those can get out of control even if you're just a fraction of a penny off of what you should be or what your contracted rate should be. We are now passing that information along to ProLogic so that they can do their magic on those numbers as well.
They just took a sincere interest in our company. We didn't have to spend a nickel up front. It took none of our time. It cost us nothing to bring them in the door. They came in, they took an interest, they immediately got focused, and they fixed the problem without any real energy or effort on our part at all. And the only regret that I have is we didn't find them sooner, because I'm thinking right now about year after year after year of all the money that we spent on this particular type of bill that we're never going to see again. So my only regret is that we didn't find the company sooner.
I would recommend ProLogic. In fact, I have recommended ProLogic to any executive who is in charge of controlling costs within a company.
You know what, the one thing that a skeptical CEO might say to me after I tell this story is that it's too good to be true. And I'm telling you today, it's not, because we saved $200,000 in 1 year to our bottom line. And from this point forward, what the analysis shows now is that we're going to continue to have a 34% reduction in our costs on this one vendor alone. And I would say to you, don't miss this. Don't miss the opportunity, because you're going to regret it if you do.